So I had thrown out some ideas about what we might cover this evening. One of the things that y'all have probably noticed is that I've been really trying to focus a little bit more on probably some of the things that you don't practice as often when you're on your own. Most of the time when folks practicing on their own, especially in the beginning phases, they're mostly practicing memorization. How do I do that? Which way do I point? Right? All the basic mechanical stuff. Where's my hand supposed to be? And it's just the process of elimination. And the soul of the art doesn't get practiced as much because the mind is too busy working on memorization. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of the process. But it's part of my responsibility is try to move you forward with both the essences of your Tai Chi, since that's pretty much the only art, the primary art that we practice here on the Mental Meals. Occasionally we'll throw in a little bakwa, a little basic Yituan, but for the 90% of, I would say 75 to 80% of what we do is Tai Chi. So working on the stillness component, having some pieces of it so that you can just say, okay, this is the state I'm looking for while I go through it, right? So if that being said, what I want to do in the beginning today is since most of y'all have already been warming up, and we will do a little bit of work together. And I thought we'd start with a little breath work and then a little movement and kind of go back and forth, okay? So let's just first start with some double spirals, and we're going to loosen up the shoulders. And, I'm working on, I've recorded some of this, put a whole stack of videos up on the website yesterday and over the weekend. So if you get a chance, go over there and look. But for the most part, we want to do some double spirals here. So you roll them back, open up. Yeah. It helps open up the intercostals, helps open up the chest, get the ribs flexing around a little bit. Do a couple more. Oh. Good. Shake it out a little bit. All right, we're going to do lift the cauldron. So from here, we're going to just press up. Bend the knees a little bit. Down. Press it up. Exhale as you come down. Breathe in. Do a couple more, just because we like it. We love it. We want some more of it. One more. Good. Whew. And one more. Because, with these three exercises we're doing today, it's not the end all by any stretch. But, when I go through my routines, when you're doing the double spirals, you're working wrist, elbow, shoulder, intercostals, chest, front line, right? Then when you do the lifting the cauldron, you get the knees, ankles, hips, right? Because you can get as deep as you want. And then the last one we're going to do here will activate calves, hamstrings, and as well as the intercostals. So that's turn the moon. That's where we do a little bit more as a joint opening exercise rather than a motion exercise. Get in a good bow stance, interlace the fingers, turn the palms away, round out your shoulders a little bit, turn the moon all the way around, look down and back. Look at that. Yeah, baby. Daddy's got flex. Good. Uncoil. Do the other side. Interlace. Turn. Look down and back. Ooh, this side's a little tighter. Uncoil. Woo. Good. So far, so good. No, the rear heel. Yeah, you're trying to turn all the way around as much as you can, and then take the head, and then try to drop it down and look back toward that rear heel. Now, from a physiological standpoint, come here, Ryan. Or go ahead and facing this way. Put the right foot out, and then turn it. Okay. So when you're doing this exercise, if he just goes straight and keeps the head up and get a little bit longer stance, okay, so that now he gets a good stretch here through the gastroc, through the calves, hamstring, and some through this erector spinae up to about right here. Okay, this erector spinae on this side. So basically, in physiology, one of the things I loved about some of the qigong is that they were doing things centuries ago that makes perfect physiological sense now, even though how they knew to do it is totally different. But in today's modern, we call this a kinetic chain, right? And so pretty much everything that we do is based on kinetic chains. So this chain, and Sifu would always say, when you do the exercise properly, never look for what's complaining, right? Because what's complaining on one side could be totally different than what's complaining on the other side, because the kinetic chain is different. So when he does this exercise, and then he gets his hands up, and then he rotates down and then dips his head. Now that kinetic chain runs all the way up through the erector spinae and all the way up through the feng qi point to the back part of that head, where that erector spinae connects up to the back of the skull. So now he has the full, now he has the full kinetic chain all the way down to the bottom of his calcaneus through that tendon. Okay. So the kinetic chain, by twisting it just a little, activates everything on that line. And then you relax, because you can also, you're stretching out the intercostals and all that kind of stuff as well. But there's a lot of things that we do in the Tai Chi that I don't really kind of point out physiologically, but it's got a huge amount of kinetic chain work, which is massively important to you as you get older, right? Because kinetic chain is, you may have great bicep strength. Lifting that 5 pound of sugar right here is fine. Putting it up in the cabinet, that's a kinetic chain. Now all this has to participate for that to get up there. And the key to the kinetic chain is this: the core. Everything on the front, back, side to side. Okay. And you look at that exercise again, and that's one of it when you're doing the lifting, the cauldron, and those types of things. So I don't want to, good question. Sorry for the long answer, but it's not just what to do, but why you're doing it. And I try to make sure that, and I tell Ryan this all the time. I know Bader's heard it. I teach, and I know Bruce has heard it. We joke about it almost. I tried to teach y'all the same way I was taught, so that in case something happens to me, you know what to do and you know why you're doing it. So you're not just empty vessels walking around like little Tai Chi, Tai Bo people who just been walking around doing movements, right? You have some essence to your work, right? So you can continue. All right. So the next part of this is we're going to go through a little calming breath exercise, and I'm going to face out this way. Online, we're going to be in a resting Wu Chi. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. Then step up this way. Good. All right. So, because they'll hear me just fine, I'd like for you to take in a breath. Let the hands come down. And whenever we're just trying to begin with a little breath work, you always start with the body. Get it balanced. You can close your eyes partly or lightly full. I like for you to bend your knees a notch so that you activate the thighs, which is one of the things that Bob had brought up. This is, another way of practicing in it that we did a few weeks ago. But I'd like for you to bend the knees so you feel a little bit settled into the earth. And we're going to start with what is called the calm and clear. And I'd like for you to practice where you're going to breathe in on a count of 4, and then you're going to exhale on a count of 8. I'll lead you through the first 2, and you'll do the next 7 on your own. The first step in any breathing exercise, usually, is going to be for you to exhale fully. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next 7 on your own, and I'll let you know when I'm finished. If it gets a little stressful, trim it back to a 3 and 6, or take a little break and then come back into it. Like for you to just return to a natural breath for yourself. Notice how your body feels. What you experience through that introduction to the calm and clearing breath. I usually refer to that as a regulation exercise. Now we're going to do a sinking exercise. On the sinking exercise, what I'd like for you to do is put your right hand at the bottom, palms facing each other. And I'd like for you to breathe in, let the right hand swim out to the side. Y'all follow Ryan if you need to. As you inhale, and then centering, exhale, bring it right down. And now the other hand is at the bottom. Syncing the mind, the heart, the breath together. Breathing in and out. Continue on. We'll do just 3 of these this evening on each side. One more round on each side. One. Let the hands return to just in front of your lower abdomen. There's different ways for you to practice the memorization. Sometimes you're just trying to memorize a note. Sometimes you're trying to memorize a chord. And then one day you'll try to memorize a little song and then a bigger song. And it just kind of progresses. But learning how to memorize the note and to make the note is where the core of your practice is, and then learning to create off of it. So I thought I'd take you through a little simple pattern, all right, where it allows you to play with the notes. And for those of you practicing the Yang 24, it's similar to that pattern in the sense that it allows you to be a little free. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through a couple of things here. Now, Ryan's not done this pattern either, so I'm going to have to be pretty good at teaching at the same time. All right. So what we're going to do first, we'll just do this in the air first. All we're going to do is hold the baby on the right side, just like we're doing the Yang 24, parting horse's mane. And we're going to hold the baby, parting horse's mane. There we go. Good. And then from there, we're going to reach up and roll back. And then we're going to reach up and roll back. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing, just come back to neutral. Except now we're going to just move our feet with it a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to hold the baby on the right side, follow Ryan, step out toward the front, directly to the front. Okay. Parting horses may. Don't try to memorize it. Just try to float. Watch him. Oh, okay. And then hold the baby and out. Parting horses may. Good. From here, reach up, roll back, step through. You took one step forward, reach up, roll back. Let the right hand float to the wrist, step toward your left, and with a little more thrust, just give it a little push. Then sitting back and out. Good. From here, just open the clouds up, separate the clouds. Okay. Step out to the right. G. And out. All right. Let's just put a bookmark in it right there. Okay. Now, so first of all, this is just a little exercise to help you take, basic movement. Now, in the Tai Yang 24, you start off and it's 3 of these. Okay. What I wanted you to do is give yourself permission to play with it instead of always trying to nail yourself into the form. Sometimes taking it out of the form will help you understand the form, right? Because then it gives you options. Sometimes your practice should be tougher than the form, not the other way around. Okay. I mean, as a former athlete in various sports, Ryan is too, and I'm sure some of you are, your practice, even in music, right? Your practice should be tougher than playing the game, right? Because if you're waiting to perform at the level that you want to perform at when it's time to play the game, you will get your butt kicked. Practice is supposed to be tougher than the play, and form is play. Now, it's a little choreographed, but you have to treat it like dancing in that sense, at least from my standpoint. So all we did here, the other thing is that it re-emphasizes for you the 5 directions of your Tai Chi, right? Center, forward, back, turn left, turn right. And so all we did is we just went 1, 2, 1, 2. Then ideally, I would turn 90 degrees to the left and let the hand float into a G and then out to an on. Separate the clouds. Step to the right, G and an on. Now, that's not unfamiliar to any of you all, is it? All those techniques were the same techniques you've done. I just changed how we did it. Right? Any comments?
That was very challenging on my side.
Okay, because it was a little different, or what? Oh, you mirrored on top of it. Yes. Okay. Well, I tell you what. Then what we'll do is let the online group be mirrored. All right, because it really doesn't matter which side you do, because this pattern is symmetrical. It's forward, back, turn left, turn right. So by the time you finish, you're going to do everything that I need you to do. Okay, so don't go, oh, was it with the right side? Right. Too much mental junk, right? And mental junk interferes with practice. All right. So we just want to feel, can we do the note? Okay. So just let the hands float. This time I'll do it with you. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah. So here, we hold the baby, step out, hold the baby, step out, then let the hands roll up, roll back, yeah, and then roll back. And then from here, gather it up turn 90 degrees to the left. And what I did tonight also is I gave you a little freedom to get out of your comfort zone of stoicness. Okay. And so as we turned and I gave you this option of rolling back, what I'd like for you to do tonight is get a little feel for what is called pungjing, just a little spark. So it's not right like so hard. What I want you to do is I want you to allow it to pop out there a little bit. Yes, let it pop out and then reverberate back into your on. Okay, and then you separate the clouds. You turn to the right or to the other side, whatever side you didn't do, right? And you do the same thing. Pop it out, wash the back of the hand, and let it reverberate back, and then on. And then bring it together for right now. Okay? All right, so what's some of the things you notice about that or observe in that practice? What are y'all looking at, Ryan? You have thoughts, feelings. What are they? Not smooth. All right. Well, huh? Have to think. No, you're probably thinking about the pattern more than anything, right? That's part of the box of patterns, right? But this isn't designed for you to memorize. It's just saying, okay, can I step forward? Can I step back? Can I turn in one direction? Can I turn in the other direction? Because if you can't do those basic things, you can't do the form. I mean, the form's a lot more complex as far as this choreography than that was. The techniques we did were all basic techniques. Pong, Loy, G, on, G, on. Now that should be like rice on your table, because on Tai Chi, that's the core. Pong, Loy, Ji, on is the core of your work, right? Now, it's expressed differently. Sometimes you may see it as ward off, mirror hand, parting horse's mane. They're all Pong. I'm not going to dissect you in any shape, form, or fashion because it's not necessary, right? Do you understand the energy that you're trying to practice? All right. What about during the G, trying to let yourself go and reverberate? Yes. Yeah. The idea there is that, when you pull a bow back and you steady the arrow, and when you let it go, bam, that bow reverberates as it releases the power. Okay. So it's going to go and it's going to reverberate, with a shotgun, we call it a little kick. It reverberates back. But the idea is that, this is one of your first introductions because for that to happen physically, your mind has to be in the right place. You can't be stiff and reverberate at the same time because now you're trying to mash the gas, but your foot is all the way full on the brakes. And so it gives you a little glimpse inside of a whole world that'll be coming later if you decide to pursue what Tai Chi is supposed to can develop into. Is that the right way of saying it, you think? Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. So having that ability to reverberate and let it go is something that it will become magical for you later. You can ask anything you want. Oh, so yes. So basically what happens is okay. Now, and that is to come back here for just a second because there was something with that too. Part of the reason that G is so important is not only the pressing, it's the adherence. Okay. Because if you are boxy, where it goes, and you can hear me hitting, and I'm making contact, and this might sting him a little bit, but it doesn't penetrate at all. or he would be moving. Right? Right. When you're doing G, you're trying to learn the essence of the motion. It's not just to press quickly, but it's to press and adhere and keep going. If I just press, now he's over there. I can't get to on because he's gone. The harder I box him and shove him out, well, I can't get to him because he's already left. And that is not a finishing move. So now we got to start all over. Whatever advantage I had, I just gave it back to him. So strategically, that's why Tai Chi. But if I can get in and go poof poof, as soon as I feel his body, sorry about that. As soon as I feel his body collapse under the pressure, I'm already redirecting him into another place. And that's why it's important. I'm gonna go slower this time. I'm gonna try to do it in slow motion. That as I press and his body collapses, I wash the back of my hand and I stay right on top. I stay adhered to him. But I can't go press, disconnect. Now let's go again. Okay, does that make sense? Now I'm giving you a little glimpse of some of the application of Tai Chi, but it's not for you to apply it, it's for you to texturize it in your mind. So because you don't have to have a partner to get a feel of reverberation. You can sit there and go, okay, let me, to where now that becomes one movement, not two. Okay, where are we? Wow, good gosh, it's after 6 o'clock already. Dang. Okay, we're not going to finish. Let's finish with this one. Let's do that little pattern one more time. Okay, sorry about that. Wow, that was a fast mental. This was truly a mental meal, wasn't it? All right, hands float. Hold the baby out. And you can do it as a mirror hand if that works better for you. Doesn't matter because all you're going to do is hold the baby and do the other side. Good. Then you roll the hands back and then you reach up, step through, roll back. Yeah, there you go. Now the yin hand floats. I'm going to turn my belly button and I'm going to step and I'm going to thrust and out. Okay, I'm simplifying that a little bit for you. Okay, then you separate the clouds. Now, Ryan, you're going to love this part. Okay, because what I like to see you do is like to see you thrust and then out. Okay, then open up. So I can help you change your footwork a little bit. All right, because there's more than one way to advance. Every time you advance, it doesn't always mean you're doing a bow stance. No, there are going to be times where you're going to be in your cat stance, or you're going to be what we call an ape stance, which is his favorite. Right. So, but if you look at some of these techniques, I'm going to pop out, reverberate, and step with it again. Okay. Let's finish up with a little breathing. All right, Ron, if you can come over here. There you go. Have a little breath, breathe in. We'll do about 5 breaths, just nice and quiet the mind a little bit. And just as planting a seed, sometimes once you calm down, this is the best place to practice, where you just kind of let your body move a little bit and you can feel yourself or visualize yourself or sense yourself doing exactly what we just did. Like for you to smile a little bit and bring your fingertips up to your heart. Just open the palms out into the world and finish a good, nice practice. Wow. That, I mean, I know we joke about this sometimes, but that may have been the fastest mental meal. Time just shot right by. Any questions?